To understand how important compliance is in corporate, we will go through the following issues. 1. Evolved value creation story of Ajinomoto Vietnam. 2. 3+1 First management policy. 3. What is compliance? 4. Where is compliance required in the company's value chain? 5. Examples of compliance requirements in the company's value chain. 6. What will happen if the employees do not comply with Vietnam law regulation and the company's regulation Standard Operating Procedure (SOP)? 7. What are the benefits of compliance? 8. What factors contribute to compliance? 9. Request on compliance to all employees. Evolved value creation story of Ajinomoto Vietnam. To achieve ASV indicator of 2030 roadmap, thereby realizing company's purpose as well as contribute to the realization of Ajinomoto Group's purpose, AVN has established the Evolved Value Creation Story, in which building a strong organization is the most important foundation. To establish that foundation, the company has established the 3+1 First management policy, in which the basic first is an important policy to help the company achieve stable business operation, contributing to building a strong organization. Basics first is the policy to ensure compliance in business operations. So, what is compliance? Compliance can be illustrated by two aspects. Compliance with the law is understood as only perform activities permitted by law, perform required actions as specified by law, and avoid engaging in activities prohibited by law. Compliance with internal regulations within a corporation is the process by which corporation and its employees voluntarily comply with all regulation, SOP, and code of conduct that is established by the corporation. Compliance is required in every aspect, every operational process, or in other words, throughout the value chain of a corporation. For ease of demonstration, there are some examples of typical compliance requirements in a manufacturing company like Ajinomoto Vietnam, which are: in the construction phase, the company must comply with regulations regarding obtaining construction permits and meeting firefighting and prevention requirements. In the procurement phase, employees must strictly comply with the principle of fair and transparent transactions under the Ajinomoto Group Policy, AGP. In the production process, the company must comply with standards for food safety and hygiene, environmental protection, and more. In advertising and marketing products, the company must comply with regulations regarding advertising content and conducting promotional programs. In the use of invoices and documents, the company and its employees need to comply with tax and accounting laws, government guidelines, and regulations on invoices and documentation. In corporate matters, the company and its employees need to comply with all regulations for licenses, as well as the Vietnam Labor Code and the company's rules and regulations regarding the labor governance. What will happen if the employees do not comply with Vietnam law, regulation, and the company's regulation or SOP? Example 1. Employees do not comply with safety procedures at the factory. For example, not using the provided personal protective equipment. Then, safety risks for employees when participating in labor will increase, leading to occupational accidents at the workplace, limiting the ability to work after treatment and causing loss of income, affecting the family. Furthermore, they may face disciplinary action according to the company's labor rules and regulations or be subject to administrative penalties under the law. As for the company, it may be subject to penalties for violations or even criminal prosecution for failing to ensure workplace safety for its employees. Example 2. If employees do not comply with personal data protection regulations, for example, posting promotional images that include people's personal information without their consent, then employees may face disciplinary action according to the company's labor rules and regulations and may even be required to compensate the companies for damages. As for the company, it may be sued by the individuals whose data was exposed and may be subject to administrative penalties. Example 3. if the employees having following conducts: giving gifts to officials, civil servants, public employees, or people in positions of authority of partners to gain unfair advantages. Receive money, gifts from partners to bring more benefits to them. Employee may be subject to labor discipline according to the company labor rules and regulations, may be subject to administrative penalties and/or criminal prosecution. At the same time, the company's reputation and prestige will be affected. In some cases, the company's employee's manager may also be subject to administrative sanctions and/or criminal prosecution. What are the benefits of compliance? For each individual, when you comply well, you attain a state of mental freedom. Mental freedom brings health and happiness and innovation, creativity in work. Contribute to creating more value for your team and organization as well as for society. Therefore, when ensuring compliance, you will be able to develop your career further within the organization. 14. Ensuring compliance helps to ensure stable team operation, enhance team image, build trust and promote cooperation, leading to the development of both individuals and organizations. Therefore, when ensuring compliance, you can boost your team's growth. For a company, ensuring compliance helps to reduce risks for the organization in order to operate stably, create a better working environment that enhances overall operational efficiency and competitiveness, enhance company image and reputation by adapting with the expectations of society. Therefore, when ensuring compliance, you can contribute to the stable operation and good reputation of the company. What factors contribute to compliance? Ensuring compliance requires both knowledge and awareness. To enhance knowledge, you need to proactively research, learn about internal and external compliance requirements relevant to you, your team, and your organization to equip knowledge. Consult with relevant individuals and organizations both internally and externally, such as legal section and authorities, to ensure that you, your team, and your organization have a correct understanding of relevant knowledge. Listen to comments and advice from people with expertise, experience inside and outside your team and organization to strengthen and enhance your knowledge. To enhance awareness, you need to 1. Promote awareness of the benefits that compliance brings to team and organization, as well as the consequence of non-compliance. Specifically, managers can organize training and sharing, select, analyze specific cases and examples while using images and emotional content to remind employees regularly. 2. Increase awareness and compliance habits. You need to always practice compliance in daily work as well as in life, even the smallest things. From management level, to directly involved in developing regulations, SOPs, as well as compliance management, always act as a role model in your team and organization. At the same time, regularly observe, monitor, check, and periodically remind subordinates to comply with appropriate and effective methods. Request on compliance to all employees. To promote compliance, it is necessary to understand the role of each stakeholder in a compliance program. For external, manager needs to fully aware of policies, laws, regulations of the state and local government. Regularly equip, update knowledge of laws and related practice. When approving operational proposals, ask yourself, which law or regulation does this activity need to follow? In case of any uncertainty, abnormality, it is necessary to seek advice from the relevant department in charge. Regularly observe, monitor, check, and periodically remind subordinates to ensure the compliance with appropriate and effective methods. Employee also needs to proactively research and update about laws, regulations to equip knowledge and assess impact on operation. Always practice compliance in daily work as well as in life, even the smallest things. When performing tasks or making proposal, ask yourself, which law regulation does this activity need to follow? What detailed requirements must be followed to ensure compliance with the law? In case of any uncertainty, abnormality, it is necessary to seek advice from higher level. Promptly report non-compliant behaviors following the management policy of bad news first. For internal, manager needs to directly involve in developing regulations and SOPs, as well as compliance management. Organize training, sharing to promote the meaning and implementation of the regulations and SOPs. When approving operational proposals, ask yourself, which company's regulation or SOP does this activity need to follow? In case of any uncertainty, abnormality, it is necessary to seek advice from the relevant department in charge. Regularly observe, monitor, check, and periodically remind subordinates to ensure the compliance with appropriate and effective methods. Employee needs to fully aware of the benefits of compliance as well as the consequences for yourself, family, company, and society if you do not comply. When performing tasks or making proposal, ask yourself, which company's regulation or SOP does this activity need to follow? Which steps in the SOP does this activity need to follow? In case of any uncertainty, abnormality, it is necessary to seek advice from higher level. Regularly check the related company's regulation or SOP to ensure the compliance. Regardless of your level and position, remember that always be aware and maintain compliance as a habit. Each individual and each team, let's work together to promote compliance, thereby contributing to the prosperity and stable business operations of the company. On that basis, we can create a stable and strong organization and contribute to realizing the purpose of Ajinomoto Vietnam, which is contributing to the well-being of Vietnamese people and society through providing quality products and valuable initiatives with AminoScience.